Hey, how's it going guys? Phil here, and today we're going to be doing Winexpert's Vintner's Reserve Piesporter style white wine. In this kit, you'll receive a bag of white grape juice, numbered packs of additives like bentonite, potassium metabisulfate, potassium sorbate, isinglass, which is a fish extract used for clarifying, a Lavlin yeast packet strain EC1118, a satchel of dried elderflowers, a set of instructions, and a smaller juice bag for finishing. The first thing you'll need to do is sanitize all your equipment. This includes your fermentation bucket, airlock, and stirring spoon. To start, add 2 liters or half gallon of hot water to your sanitized primary fermenter. Stir the water vigorously with your spoon as you sprinkle the contents of package 2, bentonite, onto the surface. Continue to stir for 30 seconds and break up any clumps. Now we'll add the juice. You can pour it from the box if you secure the neck of the spout into the groove at the top. Pop the cap off the juice bag. I used a butter knife here to get under the lid, and pour the contents into the primary fermenter. Add 2 liters or half gallon of warm water to the juice bag to rinse out any remaining juice, then dump it into the fermenter. Now fill the bucket to the 6-gallon mark with room temperature water and stir vigorously for 30 seconds. Next, add the elderflowers. They'll continue to float even after stirring. Check that the juice is between 72 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit. We're at 75 degrees, so we'll add the yeast now. You just have to sprinkle it on the surface, and you don't need to stir after this step. Just cover the primary fermenter, add the airlock, and fill it with sanitizer solution or water. Then set the bucket aside where it can remain around 72 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit for about a week. It's March here and still a bit cold in the house, so we've wrapped our fermenter with a few fleece jackets and set it on a heat mat with a temperature monitor to keep the temperature in the right range. Fermentation should start within 1 to 2 days. Here's ours about 24 hours later. You can see the bubbles coming up through the airlock, and the heat mat is holding the bucket at around 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Fermentation should be complete within 5 to 7 days. On day 6, we saw that there were no more bubbles, so we're ready to rack. Like we did before, you'll have to clean and sanitize all your equipment, like the carboy, siphon rod, and hose. Here's what the wine looks like now. We're going to test the specific gravity with the hydrometer to make sure it's below 1.01. Since it is, we'll rack the liquid into the carboy. Once filled, cap with the bung and fit with the airlock. The wine will look cloudy at this stage. Set the carboy where it can ferment for 10 more days at 72 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. These are the sediments that are left in the bucket. Note that the elderflower bits tend to get stuck in the siphon hose, so be sure to clean it out really well. They can also clog the wine thief. After 10 days, dissolve the contents of package 3 and 4, the metabisulfate and sorbate, in half a cup of cold water. Add this to the carboy and stir vigorously for 2 minutes to degas the wine. Remove 2 cups of wine from the carboy with the siphon to make room for the finishing juice. Shake the juice pack, then pour it into the carboy and stir. Lastly, add pack 5, the isinglass, and stir again. Top up the carboy with the wine that you removed if there's room. Cap with the bung and fit the airlock. Again, set the carboy where it can ferment for 14 more days at 72 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. After 14 days, your wine should be clear. Place the carboy somewhere high and use your siphon to start filling your sanitized bottles. It helps to have 2 people for this step. Lastly, cork your bottles. I'm using the Ferrari double lever corker, but for whatever reason, it's doing a really poor job at getting the corks in properly. I would not recommend this tool. All said and done, we had 29 bottles of wine even though the corks looked terrible. We waited 6 months before cracking open the first bottle for dinner. The wine came out excellent with a semi-dry profile. It had a light body, fruity nose, and smooth mouthfeel. It reminded me somewhat of a floral Riesling. We serve this wine at our parties and have shared it with friends and family, and everyone really enjoys it. 1 year since bottling, and we've only got 7 left of 29. I would make this one again. I hope you enjoyed this review and tutorial. You can ask me any questions in the comments. I'll put a link to the product in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and join me next time.